Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy. Today we're comparing an Expedition Platinum Ultimate to a High Country Suburban to see which full-size SUV is best. I'll include a link to the Super Ford's website in the description down below, and then the Jerry Center Chevy here in Salt Lake also in the description down below. They're providing us with both of the vehicles. Link to my car buying guide too. Let's get into it. Under the hood of the Suburban is a 6.2 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic. Fuel economy is 14 around town, 18 on the highway, with power outputs being 420 horsepower and then 460 pound-feet of torque. Powered in the Expedition is a twin-turbo 3.5 liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed. Fuel economy is 15 around town, 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 440 horsepower and then 510 pound-feet of torque. I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. It's completely free and it really helps out the channel. So this particular Suburban has this nice metallic white paint, whereas the Expedition has this kind of like flat with a little bit of metallic flake gray. The Suburban has a split light design and you've got nicer trim here in the grille, whereas the Expedition has kind of more of a traditional headlight design, and then you also have some nice trim in the grille. Now the Chevy has fog lights. For some reason the Ford does not. And seeing them side by side, it's pretty crazy just how big both of them are. Tire wheel setup with the Expedition is 285 by 40 by 24, whereas the Suburban is 275 by 50 by 22. Now as you can see, both of these vehicles have plenty of badges signifying what they are. Here's your side profile with the Expedition. You can see those 24s pop out. And then here's your side profile with the Suburban. Now when it comes to the cargo area, behind the third row, it is massive here in the Suburban. We also have an outlet here in the back of the Suburban. You can fold down the second row. The third row, you can fold it down and also raise it up. The Expedition also has a ton of space, and it's got a tailgate, USBs, and an outlet back here, so a little bit more utility. And then the seat situation is the same, with the second row being able to fold down, the third row being able to raise and lower. I've got pretty cool taillights here on the Suburban and lots of blacked out trim in the back. And when you put it all together, I think it's a pretty cool boxy look. The Expedition definitely has funky looking taillights, and they've gone for a two-tone design here in the rear. I guess we can say it definitely stands out, especially when you see it next to the Suburban. Door panel in the second row of the Expedition is definitely fancy with all the trim. I also have good legroom back here. I've got some storage pockets and a USB port. There's cup holders here in the rear. I've got my own climate zone. I've got access to the radio, also have heated seats and more charging down below. That room here in the third row isn't massive, but more than adequate. I also have some USB ports back here, and I can recline my seat if I want. And speaking of seats, these seats here in the rear are actually pretty nice. Now I will say the High Country package gives you pretty nice trim with the Suburban as well. Legroom back here is great. I got a little storage pocket. Cup holders in the rear, heated seats, got my own climate zone and an outlet down below. Spacing in the third row is very, very similar. I also get a little USB port here in the back as well, and you can see this for the seat, throw it down. Really nice trim with the front door panel on the Expedition. You have features like blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, and speaking of mirrors, they power fold in and all the windows are automatic. Payload is 1360. Really nice seats perforated all down the center. They've got power adjustments, lumbar support. We have drive mode select, and we also have an advanced four-wheel drive system with this as well. Now the front door panel on the Chevy is also nice with all the trim. No blind spot monitoring here, memory seat function on the door panel. Front two windows are automatic, the mirrors do power fold in. $13.95 for the payload capacity. High Country there on the seats, perforated all down the center, power adjustments and lumbar. Physical control for the steering wheel adjustment. We got trailer brake controls here off to the side. We also have our light controls. Physical buttons for a lot of features like your auto stop, start, 360 camera, hill descent control, parking sensors, stability control, parking assist even. This also has an advanced four-wheel drive system, a drive mode select, and it has adjustable air suspension. And let's start up the Expedition. This new Expedition has a funky steering wheel design. It also has items like adaptive cruise control built onto the steering wheel, and also adjustments for the steering wheel is this multi-function control, which is weird, and the two-tone design is interesting too. No heads-up display because we have this giant digital screen here on the dash. It has a secondary part of the screen that is customizable in terms of the information you can display. Now this does come with a nice 360 camera system with really good resolution. It also has the climate controls built into the screen, dual zone climate, heated and ventilated seats, massaging seat function too. And the overall response of the screen is pretty solid, and this is all the different stuff that you can throw up on that screen up top. Trailer brake controls down below. Got a dial shifter with a manual mode, and then a bunch of controls next to it, including the radio control, hill descent, stability for the camera system, auto stop start as well. Wireless phone charging pad with your trailer backup system. We've got some nice cup holders here, and then very spacious center console with some nice trim on the top. Speaking of center console, it's got a hidden compartment, not so hidden, but you can slide it backwards and forwards to reveal extra storage. Regular rear view mirror, and then we do have a panoramic sunroof in the Ford. Let's now check out the Chevy. Would you look at that? We have a normal steering wheel with normal physical controls, like for the center screen, for the heated steering wheel, paddle shifters there in the back. We also have radio controls in the back, cruise control, and then we've got regular stalks here behind the steering wheel and column shifter too. This does have a full digital gauge cluster. It's very customizable, just like the Ford's. I guess the Ford's a little bit more customizable with the widgets, but either way, pretty cool setup here. This has a good old-fashioned heads-up display. Just like the Ford, we've got a 360 camera, and I'd say the resolution on this is pretty good. We have stuff like the climate controls built into the screen. This does have heated and ventilated seats, but they actually do give you physical controls for the air side of things. Anywho, as for the screen itself, it's very responsive, easy to use. We've got a phone charging pad down below, USBs, some cup holders, regular old center console, some nice trim on top. This comes with a camera rear view mirror, and then we have a panoramic sunroof. The Suburban stickers for $92.5K, whereas the Expedition stickers for almost $95K. Let's see which one performs the best. Suburban with the 6.2 V8. It's cool that General Motors is still offering a big V8 where everyone else is running away from V8s. Now, the Suburban is definitely a big beast. It is basically the size of a full-size pickup truck, but it's fully enclosed. So it kind of has a, I wouldn't say like a cramped feel to it. That's not very accurate. I would say it just, it's different. Like when you have a pickup truck bed, it's like your visibility is better because you don't have as much in the way, but like this being all closed in, yeah. But the camera rear view mirror kind of fixes a lot of that. Now I will say General Motors air suspension is wonderful. Smooths out the ride really well. Over bumps and everything, kind of little bumps, it kind of deletes them a bit, which is nice. It's just really comfortable in general. Yeah, not bad at all. Man, that is some torque. That is some torque. And it's smooth torque as well, which is nice. Yeah, over the train tracks, again, that air suspension, I mean, you can hear it, but it deletes a lot. A lot of the rough and tumble is just kind of gone with the air suspension system, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, and over this is a good example, like these little areas where they've filled in on the asphalt. You can feel a little bit of it, but for the most part it kind of gets rid of a lot of it. It's really quite impressive. And the seats in this are a little bit firmer, but overall they're pretty comfortable. So this gives you V8 power, V8 response, which is really nice. Well, I just wanted to wait so we can get like another little acceleration here. And wait for it. Yeah, there's a lot to pull from. Sorry, not the best acceleration, but there's a lot to pull from. Anyways, you get the V8 power, the V8 torque. It's comfortable. Sounds good. It's kind of like it's a solid setup on a full-size SUV. Well, Expedition back to back with the Suburban. I'm interested to see if this is a lot less comfortable than the Suburban because it doesn't have air suspension. What I'm noticing so far is it's actually pretty darn comfortable. it doesn't seem like the lack of air suspension is a big detriment to the Ford. Yeah, it really is comfortable. Now I will say you don't get the instant response. With the Chevy, you can get it with either a diesel or a 6.2 V8. Both of those have really good low-end torque. This has got good torque. It just, you gotta, I mean, you don't have to dive too deep. You gotta dive into it a little bit though to get everything out of it. So it's a little bit of a different experience because of that. But it's not bad at all. And just a little bit peakier. Just a little bit peakier with the power band. But it's not the worst. And I will say overall, like I said, the ride quality is pretty darn good. Like going over the train tracks, it doesn't soak it up as well as the air suspension there. That's where there's a bit of a difference. But not bad. Not bad at all. Does feel like it's got a lot of horsepower though, we'll say that. So, man, I think it's a little bit, well, it's I feel like this is a little bit techier, like they're kind of putting more into, I mean the GM has a lot in the screen too, but this is a little bit different, especially having the giant screen on the dash. A little bit of a different experience. I think the seats in this are more comfortable. I'm glad I don't have to make this choice, because it's actually a tough choice. It's not like one is objectively better than the other, because they both have like good things and bad things about them. Yeah, I want to pick a winner, but like I kind of lean towards the Suburban, not because I think it's objectively a better vehicle, but because I hate gimmicks and I hate like an overuse of tech. And I feel like the Ford has like gone all in on tech with, I mean, even the center console with the sliding function. It's like, why? So that's kind of my 2 cents. I think they're both really good full-size SUVs, luxury full-size SUVs. I think the Ford, for my taste, has a little bit too much tech, but some of you might like that.